In the fall of 1973, I was disenchanted with my job as an auto mechanic and with my young boyfriend. Our lease was up, and my roommates had no definite career plans, so we planned a vacation. I voted for Mexico, a warm beach and Aztec ruins. They both wanted Greece. Greece had been under a military dictatorship headed by Papadopoulos for many years. Europeans boycotted Greece for tourism. Americans replaced them. My roommates found a cheap student flight, but I didn't qualify, so I got a charter to Germany and planned to meet up with them on the small Kyklades Island of Paros. My first stop was the Oktoberfest in Munich, a strange choice for someone who does not like beer. It was eerily reminiscent of the Wisconsin State Fair. After a miserable train ride through Italy, where I was mercilessly harassed by Italian men, I made a short stop in Florence, where I revived my spirits with the spectacular views of the city from across the river. In Athens, I caught a ferry to Paros, or at least I thought it was going to Paros. My knowledge of Greek consisted of the letters we used in math, but the lifeboat appeared to say Kyklades, which was at least the right chain of islands. We made several stops, and at each I searched for my roommates or something that indicated I had arrived at Paros. I held my breath as we pulled away from each dock, and kicked myself for not having a backup plan. My roommate Hillary knew a couple that were living on Paros, and they were on the ferry, but I did not know them. Finally, we came to Paros, and my roommates were waiting. Much of each day was spent at an outdoor cafe, looking out across the Aegean Sea, talking and thinking over what had happened in the previous chaotic year in Berkeley.
At about 4 p.m., it was time to head for the bakery when the bugatsas, a cream-filled filo pastry, coming out of the oven.
We rented a small house with running cold water, no electricity, and a toilet that flushed with a bucket of water. From our house, we had a panoramic view of the pastures below, the harbor, and the sea. One late afternoon, we noticed a fire had broken out on the hill above our house. The islanders turned out with their shovels and put it out that evening. The Kyklades version of the metro took us to the neighboring island on Naxos, a less populated version of Paros.
Για σένα μεσογείτησα, όλα τα δέντρα ανθούνε κι όλα του κόσμου τα πουλιά για σένα και λαϊδούνε. Απ' τα μεσόγεια κρασί απ' τα μεσόγεια κρασί θα πιω για να μεθύσω τον πόνο που έχω στην καρδιά να σου το ομολογήσω. Γεια σου ευγενικέ μου, γεια σου Σεβαστάκη μου το κλαρίνο.
In mid-November, we visited Athens, starting with the Acropolis.
Afterwards, we spent hours poring over the English language newspapers as the Watergate scandal reached new heights.
We were oblivious to the local political turmoil until an acquaintance took us into her study, closed the drapes and doors, and informed us that the student demonstrations at the Athens Polytechnic University had ended just days earlier with tanks firing into the campus.
Many were feared dead, but the newspapers were not allowed to publish this news. Afterwards, all signs of the struggle were swept away. In the middle of our stay, Elsa decided to meet up with her boyfriend to tour Yugoslavia. Hillary and I headed for the Peloponnese Peninsula to escape Athens. Our train was late returning to Athens, putting us in violation of a new curfew. As we rushed from the station to find a hotel, we were nearly run down by a tank with its gun turret pointed at us. The following morning, a blank TV screen and patriotic music signaled a political change. Our hostess blanched as they revealed the name of the new leader, the head of the secret police, the man responsible for torturing the students. We returned to the calm of the islands, this time to scenic Santorini. In December, Hillary and I took the train through Yugoslavia to Venice, Lausanne, and on to Paris to fly home. The train may have been the legendary Orient Express, which served Athens until 1977. Changes were coming. The next year, the energy crisis forced the end of my job, and I returned to college. Elsa began a gardening business, but later returned to college, and Hillary changed her name to Clover. Nixon resigned, and Greece reinstated a constitutional government.